Alright, quick intro because I know you guys want the action, but big shoutouts to Frosty. Easily one of the top 5 Halo players in the entire world right now. If you haven't heard of Frosty, follow this guy immediately. I've linked his Twitch and his Twitter in the description below. Let's watch this clip, check out these insane plays, and I'll be right back with the analysis.
Handle it. He has a red sneaky. Jumping up now. He's on back pyramid. Yep. Pushing it, bro.
Wait, what the? Yo.
Grass.
Okay.
Yeah, grass. Oh,
Still
grass.
grass, still grass, still grass.
It's silver on my bottom grass. And blue, red sneaking, red sneaking.
Really?
Going grass again, Rain. Yeah, let's go.
The red wanted to re-kill.
Looking under red from maze. I can't
Holding
really.
your blue sneaking.
I can't really get this guy man. Could go elbow. Or he went grass maybe?
He's under red. I was under red.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Now this
so
time.
I'm gonna run Yeah, now he's a freak out.
I'm gonna push blue window. You're gonna be blue case one.
Yeah, they should be. I'm gonna get on pyramid.
He says one hit back blue. Red 2, I got shots
Back
on blue.
blue.
Pushing. Blue says
Got him.
one hit red BR.
I'd be hard to it.
Got him.
Wait, is there a guy red sneaky? Hold on, I hear some
Could be.
footsteps. Yeah, I hear your footsteps, dog.
Try hard.
There's two.
It could be low, man.
They spawn blue
Yeah,
snipe.
Holy shit! Frosty is nuts. Let's start this from the top here. Now, he's going to get a free kill with the rockets. Most people know this, but in case you don't aim at the player when you have the rockets. Aim at the easily available geometry around the player and kill him with the splash damage. It's a way more effective way to get a kill with the rockets. In this scenario, the easily available geometry is the wall behind shooter. If he shoots the floor here, he's going to hurt or kill himself. It would be a complete waste, so it makes sense to shoot the wall. Also, remember the power that you have just by holding out a rocket launcher and aiming it at an opponent. You don't always have to shoot immediately. Typically, when you hold a rocket launcher, the incentive for the opposing player is to try to thrust to escape that incoming rocket. But if you don't shoot, sometimes you can force that player to choke and thrust early, and then you can punish them for thrusting with a free kill and then thrust away afterwards. So it depends on the scenario, but sometimes it's good to just hold the rockets out and remember that you have power just by holding it and strafing and not shooting immediately. Force them to do something and then punish them for doing it. So depends on the scenario. Sometimes it's good to shoot immediately. Always be aware of those opportunities when you're playing. He's going to kill shooter, use the lift to get up here. Now this is a super important situation to note. Ryan Noob has the sniper. He's got high ground. He's on pyramid. Frosty's in a rough position. If Frosty backs down here, he's going to give up the sniper to Ryan Noob, and Ryan Noob can rally that to the other side of the map and take advantage of it and start taking out his team. But Frosty in this scenario here, he doesn't want to stay here either because all he's doing is facing pyramid and he's sitting on the sniper spawn and he's open to so many angles from opposing team members to go take him out. Like they could be on catwalk behind him or on blue BR or in the maze or coming up the blue snipe ramp. By sitting here, he's a sitting duck. So he needs to get out of this situation. So he decides that confidence and pushing Ryan Noob is the best play. And this is so smart from Frosty. Now in Frosty's eyes right now, Ryan Noob is easy money. Okay, no offense to Ryan Noob, but Frosty is so confident in himself in this situation that he knows that if he jump thrusts in his face, he's confident he can take him out and he can win this battle. Even just by jump thrusting and putting the pressure on here, it puts the game, I guess, in Frosty's favor, basically. If somebody has a sniper and they're the one who's initiating the pressure with the sniper, it's so easy for them to no-scope melee you. But if you can push forward with a thrust and startle them, then you can force them into a situation where they might choke and they might whiff their shot, just like this scenario. And Frosty, with the confidence, can push up and take this battle and actually take out Ryan Noob as he whiffs 2 shots in the process. So he can jump down, grab the snipe. Most people know this, but he's jumped and he's falling off the map right now. In Halo 5, we've got tools to get back to the map if you're falling off. Right now, we've got the stabilize, so remember that if you're off the side of the map, stabilize, and when you're stabilized, you can mash crouch to maintain your peak height in the stabilize so that you can get your thrust back and thrust back onto the stage. So he stabilizes, he's able to thrust back immediately. Now he has the sniper and he can start exerting pressure. Some easy shots to take out Musa with his team. He's going to go back to the pyramid because the pyramid is a great place to be. Also note that he's heard a call out here on the red sneaky as he's pushing up. He's heard a call out from his teammate that there's a player on red sneaky so he can get the snipe shot and the melee. This is not as easy as Frosty makes it look, but you have to have a lot of confidence in that scenario. preemptively guess that that player is going to come push up on you and flick that sniper and land the shot, and then you can melee immediately after for the instant kill. If he's close enough, it's not the hardest thing to do, but either way, he's going to push up on the pyramid right here, and this is a great power position to have with the sniper when you know that players are going to be pushing up rockets or pushing up onto the catwalk. Now, you can see Frosty just hold himself here, and the biggest thing to know about this is that he's got reticle positioning. He is making a prediction that somebody is going to push up the blue rocket street, and you can see that because he's got his reticle perfectly positioned to ready himself for a player going up the blue rocket street. But he's not scoped in. He could be scoped in, but it's smart that he's not scoped in, because by not being scoped in here, he also, in his peripheral vision, has awareness of so much more of the map. If somebody does push up on catwalk before somebody pushes up on rockets, or if somebody's coming into blue-silver in the maze here, then he can see that before he chooses to land that snipe on rockets, and he can change his, his decision if he needs to. So by being scoped out here, it's really helpful for him, and he does scope in only in the moment that he actually sees the player walking up rockets, and for that split second, he scopes and he can take out that kill. So really smart play by Frosty. There's another thing here, and I'm not 100% sure if it's a thing. So my viewers in the comments, you can correct me and let me know whether or not this is true. But if you're unscoped in the sniper, I know typically there's a light on your sniper rifle. If you have it aimed at an opponent, then if you're being aimed at, you can see the light from the sniper, so you know that they're trying to snipe you. If you're scoped out, is that light as strong? Is it the same strength, or is it there at all? I can't remember. So somebody who does know, let me know in the comments. I didn't verify it before the video, but anyway, he's going to scope in and he's going to land this shot to take out this opposing player. Now, he's been hearing callouts, so there's an opponent underneath red base. This is amazing awareness from Frosty. It's hard to fully understand how he knows that there's a player in maze, but I guess the earliest available angle that he can take advantage of is to look down in maze as he pushes up on snipe here. So he's going to look down in maze. This situation right here, this just comes with practice and confidence. You need to practice no-scoping the sniper, understanding your reticle and where it is relative to the opposing player, and getting in the hang of knowing what kind of right stick flick you have to do to connect those two dots together, to connect on that player and land the shot. And that confidence is only going to come with practice. I recommend Octagon. I recommend, endless sniper matches, whatever you can do to understand these types of situations. Put that reticle beside the opponent, recognize where he is relative to the reticle, and flick that stick. You can land the shot, immediately switch weapons, lands the pistol shot. In order to immediately switch weapons, you have to either claw your controller or have a paddle under your controller so you can insta switch weapons after you take a shot. This is an extra thing to consider when you're getting better at Halo, but either way, he's going to push up, even taking the time to nade this spot right here, knowing that if he banks this nade off, it's going to land down in the fountain. If there's a player pushing up on blue maze, he'll get a hit marker and he'll know if he's hit that person as he pushes up and helps out his team. Here's a call out that there's a player underneath red base, so he can fly in and kill this guy. If there's any scenario where you're going to start burning your thrust early, it's when you've got a double kill and you're moving on to that triple kill, because you know that you've wiped players off the map. You can afford to jump into the center of the map and burn an early thrust to take out an opposing player. In other scenarios, if there were 4 players on the map, this would be so stupid for Frosty to do, but because he's taking out these players and he has the confidence that there's only 2 players left on the map, he's just cleaning them up at this point. He can start diving and taking up these positions in the center of the map here. So he gets the triple, 6 shots. Now, look at what he's doing here. He's putting his angle onto the blue bend. He's focused his attention to blue bend in case somebody spawns here. But at the same time, if nobody has spawned just yet, what he's doing is actually blocking the spawns on the blue bend. If you have your aimer focused on a certain location, you're going to block spawns. Even if you're throwing nades or shooting into that location, all of those things block spawns in that location, even just looking at it. You can also, there's a certain situation where you can see that snakebite on the side of his screen is pushing in.
You're gonna be blue case one?
Right there, you can see Snakebite's name. He's pushing in to the blue street. He's also saying it too. He's calling it out. So he's cutting off blue street. He's fighting Musa in blue street. Frosty is looking at blue bend. There's only like 3 locations in flag where these players are going to spawn. So it's so obvious at this point that they have forced the spawns into the blue cave. So knowing that nobody has spawned on blue bend, he can take his focus off of blue bend and he can push up and start to focus on blue cave and try to take out these players. Now note, this is a very minor thing, but not enough players, you know, see and take advantage of these things sometimes. Don't just jump thrust to get over this chasm here. Sprint and then jump and thrust. So he very quickly, you don't have to sprint long. Just sprint for a split second. He sprint, jump, thrust. If you sprint, jump, thrust, you're going to get more momentum forward, more forward momentum on that jump forward, as opposed to just jumping and thrusting. You'll go about half the distance. So just take the time to do that little sprint and then jump thrust. You'll go that extra distance and you'll cross the chasm here. He flies across. He can take out Shooter. Now, these are insane snipes. This is so hard to accurately break down because these are godlike plays that come with a lot of experience. But he can fly in, whip it onto Severus Shooter right there. That's a full right stick peg. Like, he is pegged to the right stick and he just whips it in to get that headshot. Now, this is a Frosty moment right here. Frosty does this more than like any other player that I've seen when it comes to no scopes. He will just sit still. Like, after he gets this shot and he notices that Rain's there, he just stands still. Like, this is, you have power. It's like what I said about the rocket launcher. When you have a sniper and you're holding it on an opponent, you have so much power just holding it there. You can wait and let that guy shoot you a couple times until you are confident that you have the reaction that you need to land that shot on his face. Frosty is so confident and so patient in these scenarios. He is not afraid to just sit there and let an opponent shoot him until he's understood where that player is relative to his reticle and what type of movement he has to do to flick it on him and take him out. Even if Frosty goes down to one shot, if he lands that headshot, that's a dead player. He can back down, survive for another battle, right? So this is so important to take advantage of. Know that you have tons of power when you have a sniper. Don't be afraid to sometimes just sit there and wait until you're ready and hit that no scope and line it up, get that huge shot on his face right there. So he lands the double. Now, let's just watch this double real quick because this is an insane double. Like, 2 headshots back to back, like, just whip it, completely destroys Rain and Shooter. Now, understand that Frosty is not a robot, okay? When you hit shots like this against amazing players, your heart rate, your adrenaline's going to spike. It's going to fly upwards. Like, I don't know if you guys have experienced this before, but this is what I love about Halo, and this is what I love about games like Halo, because Smash Bros. Has this too, Gears of War has this too. When you are playing a game and you're on fire, when you hit 2 headshots back to back like that, your adrenaline will go straight up, and your heart rate is going to go like ×2. It's going to beat fast. That means that you have to know how to keep your cool when you hit shots like that. Take a second to breathe through your nose, out your mouth, like literally woosah. Take a second to calm yourself down and remember to remind yourself that you are fucking amazing at Halo, okay? And it sounds silly, but be confident in yourself, especially when you're going off, and don't freak out about this stuff. Try to it's hard to explain, but try to rationalize with yourself that you're a great player and that doing stuff like this is normal. It's easy. Like, this is just breakfast and you're gonna do the same thing for lunch and dinner. I'm stupid comments at this point, but you get the point. Just be confident in yourself and rationalize with yourself that this is regular stuff, and remember to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and slow down your heart rate so that you can stay focused and continue to land sick kills. And I will prove it to you. Listen to Frosty, okay? Right after he gets these kills, listen to this, okay? Tell me if you hear it. I'm going to try to play it a couple times.
Red 2, I got shot.
Who hears it? Listen really closely. Put a headphone on and listen to what you hear after he lands these kills.
Red 2, I got shot. Red 2, I got shot.
You hear him breathe? He's breathing. He took a breath in through his nose and out his mouth. You can hear it. It's like actually crazy that I was able to hear this when I was watching it.
Red 2, I got shot.
That's just testament to an amazing player. Like, the fact that he's not a robot, dude. He's hitting these amazing shots, but he knows that when he hits shots like this, his adrenaline goes up. It's going to spike. So he has to remember to breathe and keep his cool and stay focused and remind himself that he's a freaking badass, but that this is normal, that it's not over the top for him, that he can keep his heart rate stable and that he hits shots like this all the time. It's like, this is normal Frosty play, right? So that's the type of mindset that you have to have. Remember, when you're going going off, slow it down, take a breath, okay? So he's going to push up here. These are actually kind of choky shots from Frosty. Like, I've seen him shoot much better. He's going to miss a couple shots here, and that's just testament to how much your adrenaline will spike from situations like this. When you hit shots like this, your heart rate goes up. You got to remember to cool it down. So he's going to land those shots. He's actually really confident at this point because he knows he's playing off. You can hear it in his voice. He actually takes the time to hear Ryan Noob. Like, Ryan Noob retreats there. He has the presence of mind to know that Ryan Noob is probably going to go hide on somewhere like red snipe sneaky, on top of the fact that he can hear him. So he preemptively nades there, almost pegs him with that nade. So really smart play from Frosty. You know, he's just super hot right now in his gameplay. He's going to get taken out, though, and that will end the clip. So what do you guys think? A lot of stuff that I wanted to break down here. Just remember to be confident in these types of scenarios, and you have to practice to be confident in these shots. It's okay to be patient when somebody's shooting at you, when you're holding rockets, when you're holding sniper. Remember that you have tons of power in that scenario. It's okay to wait and make sure that you can land that shot and take out that opposing player. Also remember, in that scenario with Ryan Noob and Frosty, it was so smart that he aggressed on him, and that, you know, he put that battle in a situation that was in Frosty's favor, instead of letting Ryan Noob have the control and giving him the easy snipe shot and then beat down, right? So a lot of these scenarios are super helpful in your gameplay. Try to take them into consideration and start applying them, and you'll get better a lot more quickly. What do you guys think? What do you think of Frosty? Sick player. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and on Twitch. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I've linked both of those links in the description below, especially on Twitter, guys. I would love to have a voice in this community. I've said this before. A big goal for me is to be able to professionally cast and analyze Halo. Imagine doing it live at an HCS event on a halftime show. I could stand beside a TV and I could present this type of gameplay on something that just happened at the event and help keep people excited and knowledgeable about what's happening in Halo 5. I think it would be an awesome addition to their lineup. So if you guys like the content, make sure to support me on Twitter as well. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Looking forward to seeing you guys around for the next one.